audio drama, AI voices, AI music, and you. My personal claim to fame is that I figured out a way to produce an original radio play script using AI voices and AI music. I'm not the first person to use AI to make a work of cogent audio storytelling, however. The first AI audio dramatist is a title belonging to a Swedish software engineer named Anders Bjarby, whom I have communicated with online. What separates me from Anders is that Anders is a damn good computer programmer who figured out a way to create a radio show episode by writing code for an app and then pushing a button which spits your radio show out. I could never do what Anders did, ever. And he couldn't do what I did, which is to write a competent radio play script and produce it using a patchwork of tools and applications never intended for such an enterprise. Now, why am I telling you about all this? I am telling you, whoever you are, about me and Anders and AI audio drama because if you care about audio drama, you should care about what AI tools like ElevenLabs and its competitors mean for you and your vocation. If you are an audio drama scriptwriter, the automation of voice actors and also of composers gives you firm total control over the creative process. You could conceivably reverse engineer consumer AI voice generators and use these disembodied robot voices as your cast of thespians. You could also conjure up a musical score using similar disembodied robot musicians and similar consumer AI music generator apps like Suno or Ava or Udio, which I have not used. Now, there is obviously a large crew of people whom I have not mentioned in my videos who have every right to be very angry and resentful about the last few things I just said, and those people are voice actors. I'll keep this simple. Freelance voice actors who either do a lot of free work or who often get tapped for low-paying hourly wages are probably going to be out of a job thanks to AI. Well, maybe. I don't know for sure. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does. Who knows what the future holds? But remember, I am not saying this at all about professional voice actors who went to school to study this stuff, who have unquestionable talent and work ethic, lots of acting credits, and loads of industry connections built up over decades. Those people are going to be just fine. A lot of them are probably making loads of cash licensing their voices to AI companies who will sell people like you and me the ability to use those voices in our own projects. I know ElevenLabs does this openly, and other AI voice generators like Play AI, which I use for my own plays, may do it more subtly. So we know who loses in this equation: freelance voice actors who would ordinarily work for free or for low hourly wages. A lot of them could get displaced by audio drama scriptwriters who decide to become audio producers and then use AI voices to produce their original scripts, which is what I did. But we know who loses, but who wins? Obviously, audio dramatists, scripters, writers, playwrights, even out-of-work screenwriters who want to try writing and producing audio dramas. AI voice generators, in this case, are a win for writers. To use somewhat hackneyed and archaic phrasing, it gives them control over the means of production. It basically gives audio producers like myself the ability to assume total authorship over an audio drama or radio play. If anyone figures out a way to do what I did with a screenplay for a future film, the same thing will happen with movies. We will no longer say that a film was directed by such and starring so-and-so. We'll just say it's a film by so-and-so, and that's it. And it is already possible for that exact thing to happen with audio dramas and radio plays. Film editor and sound designer Walter Murch talks about this exact thing happening in the final pages of his book In the Blink of an Eye, first released in 1992 and re-released in 2001. Walter Murch talks about the day when filmmakers will be able to automate and synthesize actors, thus putting entire control of the production of a film from screenplay to final cut into the hands of a lone individual. Murch calls this total art cinema. I believe I accomplished exactly that with audio drama. Total art audio drama, I guess. But in practical terms, what does this mean for people like me? Well, just because someone like me, a lone audio producer working out of his home, and now has control over the means of production, that does not mean that someone like me has any influence at all on the means of distribution. Distribution is the bottleneck of all small and mid-sized businesses, including solopreneurs, which is what all writers are at bottom. We have control over the means of production, but not over the means of distribution. In theory, that part of the puzzle is solved by the internet and social media, but even then, you need either significant capital or freakish luck to properly exploit social media and the internet. You see, the internet and social media democratize distribution, and generative AI democratize production. But just because the means of acquiring an audience and enriching yourself through your work are there, doesn't mean you can actually do it. You need capital, money to spend on advertising to make these wonderful toys work as promised. That, or engineer your work to it is totally algorithm-friendly, and forsake all sense of originality and creativity, which is something I can't and won't do. This video is getting a bit long, so to wrap it up, generative AI is going to do for people like me what mass-produced pastels and canvases did for people like Vincent van Gogh 150 years ago. A lot of lone, eccentric, tortured geniuses producing important, groundbreaking work in total obscurity. Am I the Vincent van Gogh of radio drama? No idea. This is my 6th video about audio drama. I am Levi Sweeney. Thank you for listening. Cheerio!